Rabin's dead. It happened last night. He got run over by a scooter with a sidecar. Rabin died on the spot. The guy on the scooter got hurt real bad and passed out, and they took him away in an ambulance. They didn't even touch Rabin. He was so dead, there was nothing they could do. So me and Tehran picked him up and buried him in my backyard. I cried after that, and Tehran lit up and told me to stop crying because I was getting on his nerves. But I didn't stop, and pretty soon he started crying too. Because I really loved Rabin a lot, but Tehran loved him even more. Then we went to Tehran's house, and there was a cop on the front stairs waiting to bag him, because the guy on the scooter came to and squealed to the doctors at the hospital. He told them Tehran had bashed his helmet in with a crowbar. The cop asked Tehran why he was crying, and Tehran said, "Who's crying, you fascist motherfucking pig?" The cop smacked him once, and Tehran's father came out and wanted to take down the cop's name and stuff, but the cop wouldn't tell him. And in less than 5 minutes, there must have been like 30 neighbors standing there. The cop told them to take it easy, and they told him to take it easy himself. There was a lot of shoving, and it looked like someone was going to get clobbered again. Finally, the cop left, and Tehran's dad sat us both down in their living room and gave us some Sprite. He told Tehran to tell him what happened, and to make it quick, before the cop returned with backup. So Tehran told him he'd hit someone with a crowbar, but that it was someone who had it coming, and that the guy had squealed to the police. Tehran's dad asked what exactly he had it coming for, and I could see right away that he was pissed off. I could tell that Tehran was dying for a cigarette, but he was afraid to smoke next to his dad. We found Rabin in the square. Soon as we got off the bus, we spotted him. He was just a kitten then, and he was so cold he was trembling. Me and Tehran and this uptown girl with a navel stud that we met there, we went to get him some milk, but at Espresso Bar they wouldn't give us any. And at Burger Ranch, they didn't have milk because they're a meat place and they're kosher, so they don't sell dairy stuff. Finally, at the grocery store on Frischman Street, they gave us a half pint and an empty yogurt cup, and we poured him some milk and he lapped it up in one go. And Avishag, that was the name of the girl with the stud, said we ought to call him Shalom, because shalom means peace, and we'd found him right in the square where Rabin died for peace. Tehran nodded and asked her for her phone number, and she told him he was really cute, but that she had a boyfriend in the army. After she left, Tehran patted the kitten and said that we'd never in a million years call him Shalom, because Shalom is a sissy name. He said we'd call him Rabin. Tehran's dad told Tehran it was lucky he was still a minor, but even that might not do him much good this time, because bashing people with a crowbar isn't like stealing chewing gum from a candy store. So I told Tehran's dad that it was all my fault, because when Rabin was run over, I was the one who yelled it to Tehran. And the guy on the scooter, who was kind of nice at first and even seemed sorry about what he'd done, asked me what I was screaming for. And it was only when I told him that the cat's name was Rabin that he lost his cool and slapped me. First, the guy doesn't stop at the stop sign. Then he runs over our cat, and after all that, he goes and slaps Sinai. What did you expect me to do? Let him get away with it? And Tehran's dad didn't answer. He lit a cigarette, and without making a big deal about it, lit one for Tehran too. Before I went upstairs, I stopped for a minute at Rabin's grave and thought about what would have happened if we hadn't found him. About what his life would have been like then. Maybe he'd have frozen to death, but probably someone else would have found him and taken him home, and then he wouldn't have been run over. Everything in life is just luck. Even the original Rabin. After everyone sang the hymn to peace at the big rally in the square, if instead of going down those stairs he'd hung around a little longer, he'd still be alive. And they would have shot Picharis instead. At least, that's what they said on TV. Or else, if the girl in the square hadn't had that boyfriend in the army, and she'd given Tehran her phone number, and we called Rabin Shalom, then he would have been run over anyway, but at least nobody would have got clobbered.